Hello and welcome to what is hopefully the first of many lazy marketing videos. The point of this channel is to make life easier for marketers and small business owners and anyone who does marketing day to day by finding automation and tools and technology that can make your life easier and save time, save you money, save you effort, things like that. Like I said, we'll look at things like automation and AI and various different tools there. Also hoping to have some interviews with other people who use automation day to day to kind of see and get a good idea of how different people use automation and how they make their life easier. Today, what we're going to start off with is quite a straightforward task, which is to have a AI chat running locally on your machine. It's quite a straightforward thing to do, and there's a few reasons to do that. For me personally, the reason I want to get this up and running is that for the automations I want to run, I want to use NA10 and try some other tools to create automations to help with my own marketing of my businesses. And to do that, I want to incorporate AI, but I don't want to be having to pay for all these APIs and things like that and giving all this money to OpenAI and Anthropic and things like that, especially early on while I'm testing. Maybe later on, once I've perfected it, I can then use a more powerful model, but kind of for what I need it for, I think in most cases, this will work quite well, and having it run locally will save me money. There's also no subscription fees. Another way you save money is that you're not paying 20 quid a month, whatever, to use this, like you do with other tools, or up to £200. Another massive thing is privacy. Is it privacy or privacy? Either way, it's about the security of your data. You shouldn't be giving big tech companies sensitive information where you can avoid it. You can't trust them. So if you're there telling them your deepest, darkest secrets, please stop. You don't need to do that. Use a local LLM. Talk to that if you need to, and then they can't see it. Then it's just yours. It's just local. And then once you're done, you can just delete it. There's also no usage limits. With the local LLM, they're not going to say, stop, you've used your limit. It's yours. It's local. You can just use it as much as you want. It also works offline. Not sure how useful that actually be, but in case you need that. You have full control. You can customize the settings, things like that. You won't turn it on one day and all of a sudden the model's been changed and it's answering different and it's inconsistent and stuff like that. It's always available. As long as your computer's running, it works. And it's also better for the environment. It's only using the resources of your computer that is already probably on and running. It's not running in this massive data center that's making people's energy bills go up. So if that's something that you're mindful of, this is a great solution for that. Having said that, there are also limitations you need to bear in mind. So it's not going to be as powerful as using ChatGPT or Claude or something like that. And it's not going to be as good for like big complex tasks, things like that. It's limited to the size. It's quite a small LLM. It's designed to be small and run your computer and be quite manageable. So it's not going to be as powerful as the big boys. But having said that, for most cases, you don't need that much power for a lot of tasks and things you want to do, especially if you're specific in what you want to do. Things like AI generational tasks or quite straightforward logic, it doesn't need to be that powerful. It doesn't need to have a massive thing. So it's not the end of the world in a lot of cases. It has no internet access. So this won't be able to run, like go and search for Reddit chats or reviews or things like that. It's also limited by the knowledge. Like when the LLM was made, that's when it runs out of knowledge effectively. So it won't be able to tell you what was in the news yesterday. It can't go and find that. It doesn't have that memory. So you need to bear that in mind as well. And the other thing is that it's slower responses. The speed of your computer is going to wear it down. Like they recommend at least 8 gig of RAM. My Mac Mini has got 16 gig. And it needs... So the model we're going to use today needs 5 gig, but you can go as high as 20 gig for a local model and use that. So you need to have that storage space as well. Your hardware is going to impact the performance and the speed of it coming in. So that's kind of the reasons and kind of some of the caveats to doing this. But if all that sounds good, let's do it. So what we're going to use today is a tool called LM Studio. This tool is made specifically for this. I believe it's available on Windows and Linux as well. I'm using it on a Mac, but it's quite straightforward. It's like I said, it's literally designed to create your own local LLM. So let's use it for that. So let's go and download it here. Once it's finished downloading. Okay, there it is. Right, so applications folder. So that's it installed. That's all we need to kind of go and fetch this way. When we open it up, I'll show you what I mean. When it first opens up, it will kind of run you through a getting started guide. It'll ask you what kind of level user you are. Let's just go with user. Let's not worry too much about the power level stuff. And it suggests a model. What I recommend for this bit is the skip. We will choose our own model later on. So this is suggesting OpenAI's open source model. Let's skip that. And then there. What we'll do here, we'll go to here to select a model. Let's just make this a bit bigger. Select a model. And what we're going to do is we're going to search for Gemma 292 and B 9B. Go to search more results, and one we're looking for is this one here, Gemma 29B ITGGUF. So this has been built by the LM Studio community as like a really good starter LLM to use. This is kind of, a lot of people say this is great. I've heard some good things about it, so this is what we will use for this instance. As I said, as that downloads, my kind of plan for this channel is just to make life easier for marketers and small business owners who currently, marketing is a massive job. There's so much to do, so much in there. There's always a new thing to worry about and do. And you don't necessarily have time to work out what the best tools and things are you can do to save yourself time, save yourself money, and have more effective marketing. So this channel is about, lazy marketing, finding ways in which you can still do great marketing without breaking the bank, breaking your back, and ruining your life worrying about this. I'm trying to find ways for me and for you to automate that and find tools that make life easier. So this is what this channel is going to be. Right, this model is now done. This is loaded. Let's load it up. It's loading. Okay, let's just quickly test. What is the capital of France? It should know this one. It's quite an easy question. Paris, little French flag. Nice. Let's test it a little bit more by just asking it to write a blog post about the inevitable demise of open AI, the style of Douglas Adams. So that's kind of the point, is that this here it's obviously not running, it's not the fastest AI chat you've ever used, but it's running locally. And this is secure. No one knows that I've just asked it to create this bug. I'm not especially ashamed of it, but that's kind of the point, is that there's privacy here. But as well as that, it's affordable. It's better for the environment. There's lots of good reasons to do this. And like I said, I'm going to look into different ways to use this for the automations and using it for that, so you can get the most out of it and so it can become more powerful without having to just shovel money to these big AI companies. Another thing I want to quickly talk about is there are a few settings, or a couple settings really, to look at. There's plenty here you can change and tweak and stuff to make it work for you, but I wouldn't get carried away, especially early on. You want to kind of just you want it to just be quite straightforward for you. So if you go down here and select power user, you get this little icon here for more settings effectively. And then under model, you can change the temperature. And the temperature is basically how creative versus how safe it is when it comes to word choices and how it responds to you. So the higher the temperature, the more randomness and creativity you're giving the AI with its responses. So if you want it to be quite reliable and consistent and purely factual, lower the temperature if it's being too out there for this thing. But if you want it to be more kind of, a bit more random, a bit more creative, a bit different, things like that, raise the temperature. The other thing you can do here is you can limit the response length. So if the responses are being too long, you can lower this down. If you need it to do more, you can increase it. Right now, I think I'm trying to leave it off because I don't need to do that. But you can have more controls if you need to. So that's it for this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what I can do to make this channel as useful as possible. If you have any questions about this video or anything about future videos, please get in touch. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.